When we avoid talking about politics and religion as it relates to tabletop role-playing games when they are affecting the hobby, are we doing the right thing? What is the outcome of avoiding that conversation, at least within the majority? If we avoid talking about these things, is it a good thing? And do those conversations, as it relates to tabletop role-playing games, do they happen somewhere else? Or do we just avoid the issues altogether and hope they go away? Well, first, let's be honest. Real honest about this. There is a sizable audience that is interested in these discussions when it comes to religion and politics as it relates to tabletop role-playing games. And if the more logical, rational, decent people in the hobby avoid these issues and there is that audience, what happens? The type of people that you really don't want, say, leading the conversation are the ones that show up to take advantage. And they won't care if you're telling them, hey, we shouldn't talk about this stuff. They will because there is an audience. And then the people that you really don't want leading the conversation are leading the conversation. If you tell me that this is not the appropriate place to have a discussion about politics and religion and how they affect the tabletop role-playing game hobby, then where do we go have it? Do we go talk to politicians who don't know about our game and don't care? Do we go to a church and talk to people that don't care about these games or know nothing about them? Or, what do you really mean? Are you saying, hey, we should shut our mouth and just let it go and things will get better? Well, we've been taking that advice for probably the last decade or so. Shutting up, letting it go, and what happened? It got worse and worse and worse until many of the people that usually say, shut up and let it go, started speaking up. Because that's how bad it's gotten in this hobby when it comes to these issues and how they affect what we're doing. So, would you rather speak up yourself and have some control over the dialogue and the discussions? Well, no, you'll let awful people lead because really you're more concerned about views and likes and getting paid. At least that's true for many of you. Many of you that are speaking up are just saying, shut up so we can all get back to making money. The truth is, most people in the hobby have an agenda that makes them be two-faced, deceitful. They can't really help us. They have other things going on. And again, their passion lies elsewhere. It's not in the hobby and the future of the hobby. It's their own future. By the time people that don't want to talk about these issues feel the pressure to speak up, it's going to be too late. And I think that's the point, right? Do you really want to be at the stage where you finally feel like, oh man, I should have said something sooner, but it's too late? Do you really want to get there? Do you want to be one of those people that just say to themselves, I wish I spoke up sooner? Or speak up sooner? Because if not, I think this hobby is going to go downhill in the future. The old brass is not going to be here forever, and it doesn't seem like we're passing off our lessons to too many young people. That's being owned by the people that are allowing politics to affect this hobby in a very negative way. I get it. This is just a hobby about games. So why care? And I can't say that caring is justified. It's just games. Maybe many people that are saying, shut up, are right. Maybe they are. Maybe we should just let the hobby drown. Or maybe somehow things will turn around. I don't see it. I see things getting worse like they have been for the last 10 or 15 years. But either way, maybe I'm wrong. It's just about games. But at the end of the day, I still care. Regardless of all that, I still care. Even though I can't truly justify it, I have a passion for this. And I care that this is going to be something similar to what I've done in the past for my kids going forward. And for your kids. And for anybody. Again, I can't justify caring enough to fight back against this stuff, but I just do. So going forward, I will talk about these issues like politics and that when it comes to how they affect tabletop role-playing games. Now, I don't plan on becoming a content creator solely focused on politics or religion. Don't get it wrong, only as it relates to TTRPGs. And maybe, just maybe, this honesty, me being completely honest with you saying, I can't tell you that it's worth stepping up or that there's a justified reason why you should care enough to speak up. But I'm going to say that you should if you care about the hobby overall. And if you have kids, well, then maybe you have a good reason to actually want to speak up. And so your silence is the worst. Before I go, I want to ask those people out there that think we shouldn't talk about politics and religion as it relates to TTRPGs. Could you do me a favor? Could you stop being hypocrites? And here's what I mean. Many of you out there will say, let's not talk about these things. But when the negative effects come into the hobby, from not talking about this stuff, from letting it go and it getting worse, when we deal with the negative effects, could you shut the fuck up about it? I don't want to hear your opinion on the outcome, of what you're causing. You stayed silent on it, it got worse, and now you're going to complain about the problems that came from you shutting your mouth? No, stop being hypocrites. Let it go. Find another way to make money. Find some other content. Do something, please. It's just my opinion. Do as you please. I'm not telling you what to do as far as trying to rule over you. But I wish you would just stop being hypocrites. To hear certain content creators, we don't want to talk about this stuff. Okay, all right, 3 years later, here's the negative effect of you not talking about this stuff. Let's talk about the negative effect. No. That's none of your business. Right? You stayed out of it, so keep staying out of it. Anyway, for now, take care. You know what you can do? You can hit the like button. You can share the video. Oh, and there's another button you can press. That one that lets you subscribe to my channel for more content. Oh yeah, there's that bell thing. You can press that so you know when I've uploaded a new video right away.